I almost died at 24, and this is my stroke of life. Let's rewind a bit. I have my tea. Hi, I'm Anita, and I had a stroke. Let's go back to April 2017. It was springtime. The snow has melted, the flowers are blooming, I could see grass growing, and I was young. I was fresh out of school and entering my independent adult years. I was finally going to be able to do what I want to do. I was excited that I was entering the workforce, making my own money. I was able to do whatever I want to do. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. It was a Saturday. On Saturdays, I had dance class, and I was frustrated and irritated, annoyed that day because I was late for my class. I still made it and did the class, and I continued on my Saturday things of doing errands. However, I did notice that I had an ache between my shoulder and neck on my right side while I was running errands, and I brushed it off. I was like, whatever. I probably pulled a muscle or trapped nerve. It's just sore. I'm just gonna continue with my day. Come the evening, it was still sore. It was still bothering me. Yeah, it was bothering me for quite a bit. I couldn't brush it off. I couldn't, even when I did things, it was still like I still noticed the pain. It was bearable, but also not bearable at the same time. So at 9 p.m., it happened. My life changed 180. I still had the ache, and now my right ear started ringing. It started soft, and then and eventually it just kept growing and growing until it was like blaring into my ear. And I remember trying to like press onto my ear, try to get it to stop, and it wouldn't stop. My head was spinning. I was dizzy. I felt like I was hallucinating. I was low-key freaking out, but I also felt calm at the same time. So this continued for a bit. I don't know how long. I felt like pretty long. I couldn't get it to stop, so I'm just gonna stay seated on the couch and maybe it'll go away. But nope, and I puked. And at this point, I was like, okay, something is not right. I don't know what's happening inside of me. So I was like, I'm going to call my mom. And this is when I knew something bad was happening to me. I couldn't get up or move my hand and arm up to reach for the phone. And I was like, okay, this is worse than I thought. So I'll try another thing. My ex was still at my place at that time. So I was like, I'll get him to call. And I couldn't. My voice sounded so different. It was so low and raspy. I sounded like Batman, and I was like, what is happening? At this point, I'm like, okay, something's wrong. I panicked for a bit, and then I was like, I'm gonna stay calm and just breathe, and my ex will handle everything. I'm pretty sure he noticed something was wrong as well. Moments later, everything was blurry to me. I just felt like background noise. I just saw things, blurry images, and there were people walking. I think it was the paramedic. He asked me to lift my arms up, and I couldn't, and he asked me several questions. I don't even know if I answered them or not. And moments later, I was in the ambulance. At this point, when I was in the ambulance, I remember trying to grabbed the rail, and I was like, I have no control over my right side. I couldn't lift it up. It felt so weak. It's like I lost control over my right side. And then I remember the paramedic was trying to put the IV into my left arm, and I did not feel a thing. And then at this point, I thought, is this it? Am I dying? At 24, I am going to die in my 20s. Waves came crashing to me of thoughts and regrets. I was like, I'm so young. I have so much to do with my life. I can die right now. I didn't get to live my life for me. I was just like, I just finished school and just kind of followed. I was just following what society was, going to school, getting a job, and I thought, I'll travel, earn money, get married, have kids, yada yada yada. But I didn't get to live my life. I had so much other things I wanted to do that I didn't get to do, and I was regretting so much. All these thoughts were in my head, and I just felt like it was it. This was my time. I remember that my eyes were still kind of open, and I was trying so hard to keep it open and stay open until I made it to the hospital and see my mom. But in the end, I couldn't keep my eyes open, and I thought, this was it. I am dead. Next thing I knew, I heard lots of beeping and just lots of shuffling, background noises, and bright lights. Once I opened my eyes, I saw my mom. I was ecstatic. I wanted to get up and just talk to her. And that was when I realized I couldn't. My body failed me. I couldn't even move anything, and that was so frustrated. I quickly looked around and realized I was in the ICU, and my world came crumbling down. I realized that I didn't fall asleep for just an hour. It's been a few days, and this is when I learned that I had a stroke. I was in denial. My walls were closing in me. I was like, what? And to be honest, I thought that I was gonna be better in a week and I could just leave the hospital, get discharged, and be back to the old me and do regular 20-something year old things. But I was wrong. I didn't leave the hospital. I did indeed have a stroke, and I was in rehab to learn how to do basic mundane things again, because I couldn't walk. I couldn't use my body. I had to relearn my speech. I basically couldn't do anything. It felt like I was in an old body with a baby's brain. Like, I felt old, and I also felt like a baby. And I could no longer be independent. I had to depend on others to do basic things like going to the bathroom or just eating. And people would have to support me and do things for me. And I lost it. I lost myself. It was a hard time for me, but it was worth it. With tons of rehab and therapy, I was able to go home. Slowly, I started regaining my independence. And that was something that I always craved, the independence. And when I lost it, it was really hard. And when that day finally came where I started getting my independence back, it was one of the happiest days of my life. 9 years later, here I am in my 30s. I'm alive. I would say I am 95% recovered, I am a new person with a sprinkle of old me. This is my stroke of life. I am sharing this with y'all not to scare you. I do not wish a stroke upon anyone. It is not fun at all. And it's not for pity or feeling like I am not independent of myself. I'm sharing this because, one, for me to open up and talk about it, it feels like a big step that I'm taking to share this vulnerability with you all. Number two, awareness, because I did not know that strokes happen in young people, but again, I am the example. I always thought strokes happen to older people when they're older and or they have some health issues. I was a 24-year-old. I was normal. I thought I was healthy. I was just living my life, and it happened to me. I just want to share this to raise awareness fast. That's pretty important. If you see that someone might be having a stroke, and time is very essential. So fast, and that health is wealth. I took my health for granted in my 20s. I did not care. And now health is wealth. No matter what, prioritize your health. Physical, mental, emotional. Because if we don't have that, we are limited to a lot of things. So health is wealth. Lastly, I wanted to share the story because it impacted me so much. To say what my friend told me when she visited me in the hospital. This was a blessing in disguise, because without it, I don't think I would be here right now. It's a totally different perspective. It impacted me in a way of I should be my own voice, not an echo. I do not have to follow society's path if I don't want to. If we want to, sure. If I wanted to, yeah. But now I had the choice. I was aware that it is possible. I can be my own voice. And that leads to learning about yourself. When I was in rehab, I had to relearn a lot of things. Physical, emotional, mental, everything from 0 to 24, and it was a lot, but I also learned things that I liked, that I'm good at, that I don't like, that makes me overwhelmed. That's one thing after my stroke, is to say yes, to try new things, to just explore and experience things, because you never know what is you, because you might find things that you never knew about yourself. This is what helped me become my own voice, not others. And with that, also learning about yourself, being your own voice. And then the last thing I want to say that impacted me was life is short. Don't take it for granted. Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride while learning for yourself. Do things for yourself. Become your own voice. Become the best version that you want to become. Even though I lost a lot of years in my 20s, I used to regret it. I didn't get to do what 20-year-olds get to do. I was in rehab and doing things that no one in their 20s were doing, and felt like I lost a lot of time. But now I definitely don't regret it. I am so thankful for it, to learn about myself, to do things. And it's not a waste of time. I still have time. I'm just in my 30s. I'm still young, but life is also short. So I am trying to enjoy this journey, be present, learn about myself, so I could be a voice. And this is my stroke of life. I hope you enjoy my story and encourage you to learn more about yourself and be your own voice. If you like this video, please share the story, hit like, and if you want to grow together, please subscribe. Until the next one, peace, peace, peace.